What's up, YouTube? This is me, Asian Dave, aka Fanatical for Jesus, aka Dawei, aka David Chu. I'm just coming to you real quick. I want to talk about an issue that's pretty controversial. Another controversial issue within the Christian church. It's about King James Onlyism. And for those of you that's never heard of King James Onlyism, it's pretty much people who say that the King James Bible is the only Bible that people should use, and all of the translations of the Bibles are promoting heresy and pretty much promoting Satanism. And the King James Bible is the only Bible that true Bible believing Christians should be using. Okay, the reason King James Onlyism is so dangerous, because I had this cultic mindset. That's pretty much what King James Onlyism is. It's pretty much a cult. They have a cultic mindset that is trying to divide the church. Now, I don't have anything against the King James Bible in of itself. Like, I really don't. Like, I used to read the King James Bible. I mean, now I graduated to reading the ESV Bible, the English Standard Version. But I still don't have anything against the King James Bible. If a Christian wants to read the King James Bible, that's on him or her. By all means, go ahead and read the King James Bible. However, to demonize people who don't read the King James Bible, read the King James Bible, to demonize them and say that they're heretical or whatever because they don't read the King James Bible, but they prefer to read like something like the ESV, the NIV, the Good News Translation, the NASB, so on and so forth, to demonize them for that is just wrong. Like, we shouldn't, as Christians, we shouldn't be splitting hairs on non-essential issues. Like, whatever Bible someone likes the best, whatever Bible translation someone likes the best, shouldn't be a matter of dispute. Well, I mean, to a certain extent. I mean, if a Christian is saying they want to read the New World Translation, then I would say you need to get away from that because that's not a true Bible. Or like, if someone wants to read, well, that's not really Christian, so never mind. Anyways, so like I was saying, but besides that, like if a Christian wants to read the NASB or the Good News Translation or the what's it called, the Message, the NASB, the Revised Standard Version. If someone wants to read those Bibles, then by all means let them read those Bibles. Like, it's still the same message, it's still the same basic message of salvation in every single Bible. It doesn't matter what translation you have, as long as it's a true Bible. And the King James Bible is no better than any other translation. They're all the same. Now, the arguments that people use to promote this idea that the King James Bible is the only Bible people should use are all just faulty. They've been debunked. And I'm not a scholar, a biblical scholar, but I do know that true biblical scholars have debunked the whole idea of King James Onlyism. One of those really good scholars is Dr. James White. And I'll post a video of his in the description box below, so you guys can see for yourself how he methodically demolishes arguments for King James Onlyism. I mean, they're really, and he's pretty solid, and it's almost humiliating how King James Onlyists, it's almost humiliating how King James Onlyism gets defeated so easily, gets refuted so easily, and yet they still hold on to this idea that King James only is the King James Bible is the only Bible people should be using, even though their arguments have been debunked. And then they go so far as to, since they know that their arguments have been debunked, they start using ad hominem attacks by accusing people like me and James White and other Christians who don't use the King James Bible as being Jesuits or heretics or Satan worshippers and so on and so forth. Like, can't we just get back? Can't we just agree on the gospel message and treat each other like brothers and sisters in Christ? That's what we need to be doing. We shouldn't be splitting hairs on what Bible translation people should be reading. And it's just ridiculous. And I feel like just like the young earthers do, the young earth Christians do, when they promote this idea that the Bible teaches a literal 6 day creation and the earth is only 6,000 years old, like young earthers are dividing the church just like King James Onlyists are trying to divide the church. They both have a cultic mindset, and if anybody disagrees with them, they put their opinion so far up to be on the same level as God that if you were to disagree with them, they will say that you're disagreeing with God Himself, and that's not true. Nowhere does the Bible say the earth was created 6,000 years ago, or the earth is 6,000 years old, or whatever. And nowhere in the Bible does it say you have to read the King James only Bible, or the King James Bible only. Like, there's nowhere in the Bible where it says neither one of those two things. So instead of having this cultic mindset, why don't you actually educate yourself and realize that it doesn't matter what Bible a Christian uses as long as they know the gospel, the true gospel of Jesus Christ. That's what it is. As long as they're getting the true message of Jesus Christ, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter what Bible translation they use. Like, yeah, so please stop with the culting mindset and browbeating people into using the King James Bible only, because it's not biblical. Anyways, that's all I have to say about that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And as always, don't forget to rate and subscribe. Alright, have a good day. God bless you. And stay awesome, Gotham. Deuces.